Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the second session of today's festival. We appreciate your continued participation. Moving on to our next panel discussion on planning for long wars, how DRDO developed the ammunitions technology and industry. The Defense Research and Development Organization has driven India's self-reliance in ammunition technology by focusing on indigenous development and strategic collaborations. Aligned with the Atmanirbhar Bharat policy, DRDO has created a range of ammunition for small arms artillery and advanced systems like precision guided munitions. With innovation in smart ammunition, enhanced propellant, and insensitive munition for safe handling, DRDO has strengthened the military's ability to sustain long term engagements. Collaborating with both public and private industry, DRDO has accelerated production and created robust supply chains supported by advanced testing facilities and digital manufacturing technologies, including additive manufacturing. Through rigorous research and development in emerging fields like drone warfare, cyber resilience, and counter drone system, DRDO is equipping India with the capability to address new age threats while reducing dependence on foreign imports. I shall now be introducing our esteemed panelist. May I call upon Major General Dr. Mahesh Kumar Hada to please join us on the stage. General Hada is a distinguished defense expert with over 36 years of strategic leadership and operational experience. His extensive career spans critical roles in Indian Armed Forces, notably overseeing cybersecurity and vigilance at the Defense Research and Development Organization and driving large-scale e-governance initiatives at the All India Council for Technical Education. During his tenure at DRDO, he managed security across 52 labs and coordinated vigilance cases in collaboration with national defense and intelligence agencies. A highly regarded educator and administrator, General Hada has served as faculty at the Defense Institute of Advanced Technology, where he introduced advanced training modules and contributed to mechanical engineering research. His academic credentials include a PhD in mechanical engineering, an MBA, and an MTech in modeling and simulation. As a project management expert, he holds an international executive diploma from the George Washington University. An award winning leader, he is also a fellow of the Institution of Engineers and a chartered engineer with contributions recognized across defense, academia, and governance. Major General Hada remains committed to applying his expertise to roles that advance strategic, operational, and educational excellence in India. Please join me in welcoming Sri Rajiv Prakash, Scientist G, Armament Research and Development Establishment, Pune. Sri Rajiv Prakash has contributed to the nation's self-reliance in armament and ammunition through over 26 years of dedicated service as an armament scientist at DRDO. He holds a master's degree in technology in design engineering from IIT Mumbai and an MSc in gun systems design from the Defense Academy of the United Kingdom. In 2012, he made the nation proud by winning the prestigious Royal Ordnance Trophy at Defense Academy of the United Kingdom. His research and development efforts have led to the establishment of various state-of-the-art technologies for defense equipment and ammunition. Currently, he is leveraging his academic expertise and extensive experience to lead major defense research and development projects focused on developing ammunition for tanks and infantry. Next, we have with us Dr. M.B. Talavar, Scientist G, High Energy Material Research Laboratory, Pune. Dr. M.B. Talavar has been working in the area of development of advanced materials of defense interest for the last 30 years. He has significantly contributed in the development of various high energy materials and compositions based on them for various warheads used in the missile systems. He has contributed significantly towards the development of various defense products under Make in India initiative, thereby achieving capacity building and self-reliance in the country in the area of energetic materials. He has been invited on as honorary professor to various universities abroad and has also co-authored more than 150 research papers. Dr. Talawar has also worked as an international civil servant during the period 2005-2012 in the capacity as a senior chemical weapons specialist with the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons, Netherlands. The organization has been awarded with Nobel Peace Prize for the year 2013 by the Nobel Committee. The organization in turn recognized the contribution of Dr. Talawar by issuing him certificate of recognition on the occasion of award of Nobel Peace Prize to the organization for having contributed to the Nobel Peace Prize. Joining us also is Dr. Manjeet Kumar, Scientist F from TBRL. And finally, we are honored to have Colonel K.V. Kuber as a moderator for this panel discussion. Colonel Kuber, a distinguished Indian Army veteran and alumni of the National Defense Academy, has over 28 years of service in the Corps of Signal, specializing in electronic warfare. He commanded the Divya Drishti Panchajanya Electronic Warfare Regiment, leading operations across India's western and eastern theatres in both conventional and insurgency contexts. His contributions have earned him prestigious presidential awards. In addition to his military career, Colonel Kuber served as Director of Capital Acquisitions in the Ministry of Defence, overseeing defence acquisitions across the Army, Navy, Air Force and Coast Guard. As the founder of the Defence Offset Facilitation Agency, he was instrumental in shaping India's offset policy. Transitioning to the corporate sector, he held leadership roles including as Executive Vice President at Religare Capital Markets. Presently, he serves as Director Aerospace and Defence at Ernst & Young India, advising government and global defence companies on offsets and industry collaborations. Colonel Kuber is an active member of major industry associations. Please join me in welcoming our panelists. May I request all of you for a group photograph before we start the session, please?
Thank you, sir.
A very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a very interesting session, and we are going to talk about one of the fundamental aspects of warfare, and what can be more fundamental than ammunition? In the world today, if there is one thing that is scarce, that is ammunition. With war zones extending in Europe and Middle East, and a number of other insurgencies across the globe, ammunition has seen an upward trend in terms of cost. During the COVID, the ammunition went up by about 30%. The strategic materials which were used in most of this ammunition went again around 30% in cost. And post-COVID, it was followed by the war zones. And today, if there is one thing that is not available, it is the large caliber ammunition across the world. And Atmanirbharta is one aspect of the whole thing that we're going to discuss today. But more than Atmanirbharta is Atmasantushti. And when we talk of Atmasantushti, we want to be sort of glorifying ourselves and excel in the concept of being fiercely independent in terms of supporting the Indian Armed Forces in ammunition. With this, I request the chairman of the session, General Luda, to kindly say a few words, and then I request the panelists to give their opening remarks, and then we'll open up for a good discussion. So,
Yeah. Thanks for inviting me and being part of Indian Military Heritage Festival. The topic for today is planning for long war. How DRDO developed ammunition technology and industry military heritage and history. The first part, planning for long wars. I think few years back, maybe about 5 to 10 years back, we never thought of that the world will engage into such long wars, but that is the reality today. What we see Ukraine Russia war, and what we see another war, which is Israel and Palestine war. Iran is also included in that now, and there are various countries surrounding Israel. So nobody would have thought that war would go like such long, and disengaging, once engaging war and disengaging it will become a challenge. So for long war, it requires deep multi-layered approach, sustained strategic endurance, strong emphasis on logistics. Without logistic supports, you cannot fight war. Logistic in terms of arms, ammunition, your other supports required for the troops. Then resource management is very important during war. You might have heard that various types of theories also evolved during Second World War. The operational research is part of that outcome of that war. That how to make the item move at right place in right time, or maybe say just in time. Economic resilience is very important until unless the country can support the economy, the money required for war is if you can't have a long war. Psychological operations, the state of mind of the leaders, state mind of the military leaders as well as soldiers, as well as the civil population is also very important for sustaining a long war. At the same time, morale of military and civilian population is very important. The resource required, adequate resource required for sustaining such wars. Personal management. Personal management means when we have the troops, their training, their morale. You might have seen when Ukraine war started, what sort of movement started in the country. The ladies are going out of the country and the gents are staying back for fighting the wars, whether they are trained or not trained. They were trained for short duration and then inducted into war. So such things happens when you engage into a long war. Then at the same time, technology and innovation is the most important because maximum innovations happens during the war. We say that research or innovation will happen when I am at peace and thinking leisurely, and it doesn't happen like that. You might have seen that maximum innovations or the outcome or the research has happened during the wars only. Then there is information psychological warfare is also fought along with the when war is fought between two countries or among countries. Diplomacy and alliances are very important when the war is fought. To have a right diplomacy itself is very important. Exit strategy and adaptable goals. See, you are engaged, you entered into war, but now how to exit? It's like there are many factors which influence, and one of the factors may be like ego issue, the resource issue, the economy issue, the civil population morale issue, their psychology. So this is as far as the long war is concerned. I just try to cover what are the effects and what all to do while having a long war, which is the reality of today. Then now I'll come back to the second point, that how DRDO developed ammunition technology and industry. I was there as a faculty in the Institute of Armament Technology, Pune. It is an institute established in 1951 or 52. You see the foresightness of this country leaders for that we should have a trained manpower in the armaments. So this institute was just to give training to the Indian military officers and men to be trained in the armament. Later on, that institute became awarding MTech degrees, then long courses. At times, we used to give almost 52 type of courses in that institute, and today that has become a deemed university. So, for development of armament, the country was very sincere since beginning, and DRDO was taking a lead into this. We created many labs for development of armaments and stores. We have a cluster, armament cluster in DRDO, which has certain labs which are only specifically looking for armament and ammunition design and its production. So DRDO is into the fundamental research and indigenous R&D. In fact, DRDO has ballistics, propulsion, explosives and material science labs dedicated for this purpose. It also has a armament research board where DRDO funds the academy as well as industries for development of armaments or its related technology. We can fund up to 2 to 3 crores to the institution and encourage them to develop some armaments. Recently, after IDEX, the DRDO also had TDF, Technology Development Fund. And DRDO has been pioneer in making sure that they award up to 50 crores for funding. It started with 5 crores, 10 crores, 50 crores. In fact, IDEX still awards only 25 crores, but DRDO has taken a lead and it can award up to 50 crores for any technology development related to military. Then DRDO design and development of advanced ammunitions like small arms, ammunition, tank shells, RT guided ammunition, precision guided munitions, anti-tank ammunition, bunker buster bombs, and cluster munitions. These are the technologies which DRDO has developed. Then DRDO has establishing quality control and testing protocols. It has dedicated labs for such purpose. They have created how to test various types of ammunition. PXC is the lab where also all type of ammunitions are being tested. DRDO has also collaborated with public and private sector units for faster productions and faster technology transfer. DRDO has also come out with development cum production partner. What was happening actually earlier that when DRDO was developing the technology and then after development it was handing over the technology to industry. So the problem used to be that industry was not able to absorb the complete technology, and there used to be a blame game that whether your technology is at fault or your production is at fault. So now the concept has come of development cum production partner. From the design stage itself, you take part industry in your loop and they will along with you develop the product. So that is a very good initiative. Then boosting self-reliance through the Make in India initiative, share knowledge to industry, focus on advanced technology, smart mission, sensor fuse, munitions, laser guided bombs, armor, piercing projectiles, GPS and INS also, DRDO has taken initiative to develop. Building testing facility and providing grounds, various types of prototype, simulation, targeting technology, battlefield conditions, reliability before it goes to production is the key word for the DRDO. Then technology transfer and licensing is very important initiative taken by DRDO. DRDO has transferred many technology and it is available on the DRDO website that how many technology related to defense and civil use both are available for transfer. So DRDO not only transfers the technology, they also holds the hand of the industry till the time they are mature to develop the system. Skill development and knowledge sharing is also a key important initiative DRDO does, and they regularly keep on organizing various workshops, seminars, and training to the industry as well as the students for developing such technologies. Continuous modernization and expert readiness is the motto for DRDO. So DRDO take lead in such advanced technology and start working with them. So these are some of the initiatives which DRDO has taken in developing the munitions technology that is required for the Army, Air Force and Navy. I think I should end here and give chance to the speakers to speak their what they have prepared for this session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that. I want to encourage the youngsters sitting there, all these NCC cadets, to ask at least 2 questions today, but at the end of the session. Okay, you're going to ask the scientists what they are doing, how they are doing, and if there's something you don't understand, you've got to ask them. You're not sitting here for fun. Okay, so please pay attention. And so you talked about the Armament Research Board, and I was quite sort of interested. I want to leave a question to be answered either by the speakers or somebody. How much money has been dispersed by the Armament Research Board till now, and what has been the outcome? This is one of the questions that I have. You talked about TDF, you talked about IDEX, you talked about so many things. I think one important thing which probably missed your mind is the DIA COE initiative that DRDO is taking. And today, the Directorate of Future Technology Management is interacting with at least 15 leading academic institutions, and the amount of money that they are distributing is not even funny. And also the technologies that are being developed are very critical and supercritical technologies that are getting developed. And this is a very interesting initiative because academia is in the lead. DRDO is sort of providing the shadow and holding hands, while the industry is ab initio involved in taking this initiative forward. So I have a very funny feeling that the DGTM himself handles something like 2,000 crores that he distributes out of his pocket. So I think this is something interesting that's happening in the country today. This is at par or probably better than what the US is doing, with the academia interaction that they do in the US. And when I see some of these technologies that get compared, some of the DARPA technologies that are coming out, and some of the technologies that we are doing in TDF, and some of the technologies that we are doing in IDEX Prime and also Aditi, it's mind blowing. Kudos to DRDO to have taken up this initiative. So with this, ladies and gentlemen, I'll call upon our speaker from ARDE, and why I'm calling up is because he's going to lay the foundation, and then the other two are going to take up, because you see ARDE is the lab which actually lays some sort of a foundation on which then there is an ammunition. HEMRL will speak to you about more details in terms of ammunition, and then our scientist from TPR, Dr. Manjeet, is going to talk to you about how they do the testing and how many initiatives that they are taking in terms of pulling this. So, Shri Rajiv, please, all yours. So we should try and finish by 3:10 and allow at least 10 minutes of discussion. So about 7 minutes, 5, 6, 7 minutes like that. That's what I will look at.
Very good afternoon. Hada sir has already made my life quite easy by speaking about various policies or initiatives what the IDEO has taken. So I can focus more towards the technicalities of ammunition development what we have been dealing with. So basically I will be covering my whole talk in 10 to 12 minutes, and then I will be focusing more towards the consistent R&D efforts which has gone into development of various ammunition systems which have made us self-reliant in at least conventional ammunitions. Next please. So before I come to the technologies, I would like to make you familiar with the laboratory I'm working with. It is one of the premier laboratory of DRDO named Armament Research and Development Establishment and located in Pune. So as the name suggests, it has been engaged in development of various armament systems since its inception in 1958. And the lab has been working on development of various weapon as well as ammunition systems. The weapon systems which have been developed successfully start from even small arms, going up to large caliber artillery gun systems and rocket launcher and rocket systems also. The motto has been to develop armament systems for all the three services, Army, Air Force, Navy, as well as Central Armed Police Forces, which we call CAPFs now. Next, please. So this is the slide on core competence of our laboratory ARDE. So here, if you see, the name itself is very clear that it is an armament system engineering laboratory, wherein we have a full system developed with the help of some subsystem laboratories who are specialized in various subsystems. Like an ammunition is incomplete without explosive subsystems. So this explosive subsystem is developed by our sister laboratory HEMRL. So, but our laboratory is system engineering laboratory from where the product comes. And then subsequently the other core competences which I would like to highlight here is internal and external ballistics. So this is the only laboratory in whole India or only agency in whole India which can provide solutions for internal as well as external ballistic for all weapon systems, be it developed by DRDO or it is getting imported or it is in operation through whatever means. But all the ballistic solutions are provided by ARD only. We have got a very expert group and it is dealing with a lot of activities going on in our country. The other like areas which I already talked about, small arms, ammunitions, gun systems starting from artillery gun and then naval gun and various ammunitions, anti-submarine rockets and everything that we have been developing. We have developed successfully. I will be naming a few precisely in subsequent slides. We are developing all the warheads for the missiles which are getting developed in our country, be it Prithvi, Akash, Nag, whatever missile names we have been hearing. So for those missiles, warhead is being developed by ARD. So warhead is also a part of ammunition. So warhead means the part of the ammunition which carries the explosive meant to work as a kill mechanism to provide terminal effect when it encounters the target. So we are developing all the warheads. We are developing fuse and safety arming mechanism. Fuse is the component which actually gives command to the ammunition to get actuated when it is required to function. So we are developing various fuses since its inception. How we have graduated in terms of technology that I will be mentioning about or explaining you about in my subsequent slide. But right now I am dwelling upon the core competence what we are holding in our laboratory. We have even ventured into development of precision guided ammunitions, wherein these are laser guided anti-tank missiles which go to hit the tank very precisely. And then, of course, like Hada sir brought out, we have in fact, specialized ourselves in carrying out various test and evaluation with latest tools and techniques. So that also I would like to highlight in my subsequent slide. Can you please go to the slide? So now this is an important slide, which maybe which is apt for the topic given to us. So this is how the ammunition development evolved in DRDO and mainly in ARD because I belong to ARD and then ARD has been a nodal laboratory to develop various ammunition systems since its inception. So if you can see in the arrow diagram, so like initially when it was the laboratory was created, it was somewhere in 1958 or 1960s. And that time the work started with with a model of reverse engineering or the whole purpose was to substitute the import. So we had some benchmark products which were already imported, and then we had to become self-sufficient by designing our product based on those products. And so these were mostly reverse engineering based. And then we graduated a little bit as we started gaining experience. Then we graduated to inspiration based. Inspiration based means we don't have the product in hand or in our country, but then we know through any means, through literature or media, that yes, these kind of products exist globally and operationally it is quite useful to our users. So then that gave us some input that okay, we can take certain initiative to develop such products. And then we advanced to the GSQR based system where user also started interacting with us, and then the specifications or requirements were getting converted into a GSQR form which were flowing to DRDO laboratory, and then we were taking a dedicated projects to develop those products, the requirement for which has come from users. So and then during that phase only, there are various projects going on in ARD for advancement of various old ammunitions in form of Mark 1 version, Mark 2 version, Mark 3 version, Alpha version. These were very, very superior to the old conventional ones. So these were also very, very important projects, though the name was Mark 1, Mark 2, but then these are still the mainstay of the courses. Various such ammunitions are still under production in large number. And now, the stage wherein we have come and we have arrived at is wherein we can take up any challenging, any complex project without having any know-how available, without having any information available, without having any benchmark product with us. Just requirement comes, and with our innovation or with our capability, we are able to take up a project and design the product for the need. So we have come to that stage, and this has been the roadmap which we have been traversing. Next, please. So this is a particular slide which talks about the ammunition which were developed in the era of reverse engineering or inspiration based systems, wherein we had some inspiration or some products which were already available in global market, and or our services have imported it, and then we wanted to have it designed and developed by us, and then import was required to be substituted. So just to name a few, like small arms munitions. So various small arms munitions were developed by ARD for all calibers 5.5, 6, 7.62 and different case lengths. Mortar bombs were designed and developed by ARD, and then there are family of mortar bombs, and all are still under production, and large number, lots and lots have been produced, and these are still in use. And then field gun ammunition, aircraft delivered bombs. So various category of aircraft delivered bombs for Air Force were also indigenized or developed. And then there was a Russian rocket 122 grad on which we were dependent, and subsequently ARD took up a project to enhance the range and indigenize the product. That is also done. Those days we were working on fuses, but mechanical time fuses. There was no electronics in that, and these were basically mechanical time fuses or impact fuses. So we developed that, and these are also under production for various mortar bombs and even field ammunitions. Certain naval rockets and munitions were also developed during that phase, which was a phase of reverse engineering and inspiration based developments. Next, please. And now we evolved. We evolved. In what sense we evolved? Like we in fact equipped ourselves with various tools and techniques over the years while we were working on reverse engineering based systems or inspiration based systems. We kept evolving. And then now the situation is like we are able to take up projects for even high caliber, like Colonel Kovier was telling that artillery projectiles of high caliber, still it is a challenge, and then very less work is happening. So now we are able to take up complex designs for artillery ammunition projectiles. We have already some projects which are done and which are at advanced stages also. The ultimate aim was to incorporate very enhanced features in the ammunition, which is survivability. So what do we mean by survivability is that since the ammunition is subjected to very harsh launch dynamics while it is getting fired from large caliber artillery guns. So then it has to survive the load what is coming while it is getting fired. It has to sustain that so that it can reach the target in intact form. So now we can do analysis for its survivability also. Enhanced range was the ultimate aim. So we had to increase the range of all the ammunitions so that we can strike deeper. So that was the ultimate requirement. So all the ammunitions were supposed to have higher or highest possible range.
If you can try to
Hardly 20 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes. Okay. And then terminal performance, of course, it has to have higher terminal performance. So during the course of time, we developed various softwares, tools, techniques, and using those, we can now carry out all the analysis and simulation and achieve the desired outcomes. Next, please. This I have already spoken about. So these are the essential ingredients of technical evolution, wherein range, precision, mobility, lethality, survivability. These were important parameters, and we have now come through the stages, and now we are able to work on these aspects. Next, please. These are just to name a few. Like I said earlier, there are some precise names I can take. Wherein we have been able to conquer the unconquered areas like We have been able to work on nubless artillery ammunitions, tank ammunitions for very enhanced depth of penetration, then high caliber flying rockets like Pinaka, 214 mm diameter, missile warheads, pre-fragmented, safe, charged, directional, various missile warheads we have been able to develop. Electronic time fuse now we are able to develop with self-destruction features, so that if a blind remains in the battlefield, the ammunition gets self-destructed. So we can develop, now we have developed rather, and we are now successful in doing that. Next please. Yeah. And now, this is one of the last slides. Recent ammunition developments, if I talk about what we have already done, successfully completed, various kinetic energy ammunitions like pin stabilized, armor piercing, discarding sabo for tank, 5.56 cross 30 mm JVPC carbine ammunition, family of grenades which can be fired using under barrel grenade launchers. We have got penetration cum blast ammunition for anti-bunker role, and one specialized ammunition which we have developed recently can trigger snow avalanche artificially. So this was also based on requirement of users. Next please. Hada sir has already explained you about DCPP models where industries are associated during the concept stage itself, and they ultimately eventually become TOT holder. We have been able to do various TOTs in recent past. I would like to highlight one point sir here. There is an issue which I wanted to flag during this forum. Like we are struggling with one shortcoming of our ecosystem is gun propellant and primer. These are two things, two subsystem or components which are still not getting developed or used by various agencies other than our only DPSU. And if we have to really address the need of long war, then we have to have a foolproof supply chain, and we have to have an ecosystem wherein gun propellant and primer can be developed or produced by few more agencies. It can become a bottleneck if really we have to go into a long drawn war. Next please. This is my last slide, sir. So now this is about future roadmap and vision. So we are working towards becoming fully self-reliant in remaining fields of ammunition. Some of the areas we have already identified as our roadmap, wherein we are working on ramjet assisted artillery projectile. We are having various guided ammunition projects with us. We are working on technologies for polymeric cased ammunition. All the cartridge cases are having brass case, and then we are working on a very ambitious project wherein we are thinking of having polymer case, which will be a breakthrough if we are successful. And then of course there is another very like I can say a hypothetical project for us at this stage, which is EM gun launch projectile. We have got a project for electromagnetic gun, and we are going to take up a project to develop projectile for that. So that's all from my side at this stage. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Prakash. So nice to have said so much. In fact, I wanted to ask you what challenge that you may face, and you actually talked about the propellant and the primer. I'm very happy to tell you that one of the IDEX winners, there's a small little company called Spacefields, a couple of IIT grads from ISC Bangalore. It's a startup incubated over there, and they are developing some lovely propellants, and I think they are about. I think I'm going to see them as some 500 crore company in about a couple of years. Right now, they are absolutely a startup with over 65 crores, so that's very nice. So let's hear from Dr. Talawar, Dr. M. Talawar from HEMRL. So you're going to see a continuation of this with a little bit of depth into some of the ammunitions. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon. At the outset, I thank my organization DRDO as well as USIC for giving me this opportunity to deliver a talk on this planning for a long war, how DRDO developed ammunition technology and industry. In this lecture, out of 40 plus laboratories under DRDO, the High Energy Material Research Laboratory is one of the premier research laboratories dealing with a broad spectrum of innovative and disruptive technologies for rocket propellants, high explosives, as well as pyrotechnic based compositions. So you name any system in the country, whether it is a ballistic missile or whether it is a small system. So we share a major share of contribution in the development of whether it is explosive composition for a warhead or whether it is for the propulsion as a rocket propellant, including up to 3-ton motors. So basically, in this lecture, what I am going to cover is how HEML Pune is progressing in terms of contribution to various high energy systems which are in services or which are in under development, and also how DRDO is proactively supporting the industry-based development in the country. So next slide, please. So here I am not going to take much time. The vision of our organization is empowering the nation with the state-of-art indigenous defense and security technologies and systems. Next one, please. So in under DRDO, HEML Pune, that is High Energy Material Research Laboratory, we aim to be a center of excellence in the field of high energy materials and associated technologies for any of the systems for Navy, Army, as well as Air Force. Next one, please. So here in our establishment, this is one of the major slides. What we did is we have a total 6 vertical pillars where we work on all these technologies. One is three pyrotechnic based technologies, where we develop all kind of state-of-art ignition technologies, SCUB technologies, and this electro-explosive devices. And in case of high explosives composition, we continue to develop more powerful high explosives with high density as well as a high velocity of detonation based high explosive compositions for various systems, both in case of conventional incendiary as well as high explosive enhanced blast compositions, and also fuel air explosives as well as our panel, one of our members, he brought out, we are also working on developing state-of-the-art technologies for insensitive munition technologies. That is, the system should go when I want it to go. It should not go for the unintended initiation of the system. So we are also one of the leading establishment in the whole country. We are proudly say that we are in par with any of the developed nation in terms of material technology needed for the development of any of the weapon system in the country, and we also established a large industry base for the mass scale production of various raw materials, whether it is RDX, whether it is HMX, whether it is TNT, or whether it is any other material which you name, which comes in the global literature. I am proud to say in this forum. And also we are also working on one of the vertical is protection technologies, whether it's explosive reactive armor or APS, or we are also working for canopy severance technologies. That is, when the pilot is in distress, when he need to eject out safely, the HEML Pune as well as ARD together, they have contributed immensely in the development of an indigenous state-of-art canopy severance system for almost all the aircraft systems which are available, the fighter aircraft systems available in the country, thereby saving an enormous amount of foreign exchange. One CSS unit will cost around 3 crore. We have been able to successfully develop 24 lakhs in one of the CSS units, and a couple of industries are already productionizing these CSS technologies, and Indian Air Force has already implemented these technologies on their aircrafts. And then in case of gun propellant also, we are working on high energy gun propellant and lower gun propellant, and we have been contributing. And in case of solid rocket propellant, we are working on double base composite as well as composite modified double base, as well as very powerful that is 1.1 HD fuel rich propellant and all those things. Other than this, we have been continuously supporting armed forces. There are a lot of vintage munitions only held by the services. From time to time, we keep on receiving these weapon systems, and we contribute for the life extension so that so our forces will continue to use them. And also, we are also refurbishing these life expired munitions and also, of course, indigenization. Next one, please. As a high energy systems, whatever the total number of boards are there outside, whether DRDO exhibition is there, in almost each and every system we have been able to contribute either in terms of rocket propellant or in terms of high explosive compression or in terms of any ignition system. So to name a few of them, LRSAM, MRSAM, Pinaka, BrahMos, and also strategic programs and canopy severance systems advanced demolition devices, various bombs, whether it's a 500 kg bomb or 250 kg bomb or a 1,000 pounder bomb. And also we have been able to successfully develop explosive reactive armor for the various tanks. And also we have been able to develop this whether Varnastra or whether ALWT or as well as mines and so on. It is the list is endless. And we have been able to establish for the first time in the country high energy hazard division 1.1 propellant technology for various systems. And also we have been able to, as I mentioned earlier, we have been able to establish an industrial base for the production of critical raw materials. Next one, please. And now I am going to talk in 2-3 minutes how DRDO is proactively helping industry in terms of establishing a base. Next one, please. So here what we do is we work, either we take industry as a development partner where to indicate example is ATAG is one of the gun system where we took one of the as a development partner, or it could be a joint development with the industry, or it could be that the industry can hold a technology through transfer of technology, or it could be also this joint venture, it could be development come production partner. And also it could be, another way of we work is government owned company operated. That, we keep on giving the various contract to industry so that we can save a lot of time of a scientist to carry out innovative and disruptive technologies. Next one, please. So here, so far organization has signed 1,900 license agreements for transferring various technologies to industries. And also this intellectual property and the patents and all those things, royalty-free licensing, we have given around more than 750 numbers to industry to help them to create an industrial database. And also this, we have identified more than 110 development cum production partners in the country so that they can help the nation in capability development. And also we have sanctioned more than 75 technology development fund-based projects, and also now currently 100 plus are under sanction. And also we have something called a Dare to Dream contest also, where someone can come with the out of box idea and dream, and we can also support such an idea. And also we have also DRDO as a DRDO Industry Academia based. This Center of Excellences we have opened up all over the country, the total 50 numbers. And also we have given 230 projects on through DIA COE route, and around 830 crore DRDO has been kind enough to sanction to generate this fundamental science database so that for major projects can propel based on this data, whether it's a modeling or it's a simulation or whether it's a raw material, new raw material creation. And also DRDO has been kind enough to industries to access DRDO test facilities, whether it is at TVR Chandigarh or HMR Pune or whether it is at PHC Balasore. So we have been able to support 18,000 plus tests in the last 3 years. And also we have been able to hold various technology partners up to 21 weeks. We have been able to support industry in case if industry comes and asks us, sir, we have not been able to do this. Can you please repeat and show us, demonstrate us? We have been going proactively, going ahead on our own, and we are making sure that industry is working with its own strength and with its own leg without holding DRDO support. And also this is, we have also come up with something called System for Advanced Manufacturing and Rating, that is SAMARA. There where industries can be rated depending upon their capability. And also this, we have supported more than 800 export related licenses to the industry as a DRDO. Normally it comes to our organization for seeking for clearances and other things. So we have been highly proactive and positive in terms of handholding industry. Next one, please. And as this Hada sir told us as a chairman, we have been, organization has come forward in terms of sanctioning the various product and various research boards, whether it's the Aeronautical Research Board and the Research and Development Board, or Armament Research Board, or Life Science Research Board, or Naval Board, or through projects through CARS. So we have been actively trying to harvest and harness various capabilities within the country, whether it is IIT or whether it is a NIIT, whether it's any university, we have been able to identify and we have been able to get things done so that whatever the time is there, that time can be saved and we can move ahead with the development of cutting edge technologies. So almost we have identified 391 academic institutes, 922 projects we have been able to give. And also we hired young research fellows to the tune of 1,265. So wherein, they are also contributing for the various projects. And around 1,270 crore, 2 crore rupees has been, DRDO has been able to spend for many of these projects. Next one, please. So, as such, this is again, this is our HEMR one, whatever the previous slide I spoke, that was related to DRDO as a whole. And here as the HEMR Pune, we have been able to transfer 119 numbers of technologies based on high energy material based technologies to 35 industries. And also this we have been dealing with around 123 crore from HEMR side through DRDO. We have been able to identify and harness the intellectual worth of various professors, scientists outside the organization. And also around, we are not only necessarily, we are within the country, we are doing this. We have also various foreign collaboration, whether it is with the UK or whether it is the United States or whether it is Israel or whether it is Russia. So we have been able to fund some joint research collaborative work to the tune of 810 crores approximately. So this is our HEML contribution within the organization. Next one, please. So this is basically what I would like to say is technology brief and number of licenses are available on DRDO website. Industry can go and see the website and they can apply for the, they can give an expression of interest so that the concerned DRDO lab can go for the technical assessment and in case if it finds that industry can absorb this technology, so that normally without any delay we normally hand over this technology to industry at a very penny cost. So the scientists normally work to develop one product around, of course, to TRL level to reach 8 to 10 years. So that kind of team of scientists of at least a half a dozen, they will spend their 10 years to do 10 years and that kind of a technology is given at a penny of a cost to the industry. The idea is to make sure that the industry base is available in the country to fight a long watch. So this is, we are also that as I mentioned, 12 weeks minimum we go for a hand holding and also in case if I give a technology to particular industry, I go for the supporting that hand holding of this industry to make sure that they are good to go. Single industry can also hold multiple TOT licenses. In case of high explosives or energetic materials, industry need to have a PESO license as well as the DPIT license. This is the minimum bare requirement so that there is a control on these materials, so that there is a proper flow of these materials for the accountability purpose. So industry is also developed to, in case if I give a technology, based on that technology, if industry can come forward with the development of a better technology. So again, DRDO is very kind enough to give exclusive marketing rights for the industry based on our technologies. So next one, please. So this is how we are working. So the future plan is we, as a HEMR Pune, we continue to work on the development of more and more powerful and more safer ammunition systems for the upcoming future, whether it is a gun propellant or whether it is a high explosive or whether it is a pyrotechnic or whether it is a rocket propellant. So we are marching ahead continuously and day and night we are working and I'm sure we will all make, as a HEMR Pune, we will make a country proud to make sure that the country doesn't suffer in any respect with respect to the availability of high energy based system. With this, I thank again DRDO and the organizers for this opportunity, and also I thank our team chairman Khada sir for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Khada. I'm not going to add anything here, we're already overshooting time. Dr. Manjit, all yours. I mean, we're already at 3:20, so I don't know what the organizers feel. You have time? So,
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. As sir, I belong to TVL community, one of the biggest lab, more than 5,000 acre lands. And we are more into test and evaluation. And recently, from last 5 to 6 years, we have come up with so many ammunitions design, as well as recently the Charter of Duty, which has been expanded to us, is the work on the drones application in the defense area. Next. As I said, drones. The new era of warfare is drones. Like this, is the game of drones. Here, if you see in this picture, I'm showing that the first two pictures. If you see the example from the Ukraine war, where you see that FPV drones are being used to destroy 30 crore, 20 crore big vehicles like tanks and different types of and in the front line they are going to destroy the front line of the enemy. Keeping that in mind, we were also given some task to work in this area, and I will come and I'll explain you in the coming slides. Next, the third picture shows that it is a swarm of swams, like the swarm of drones, again emitting the swarm of drones, having the AI software, which will further actually target the small targets. Third, if you see the multiple swarm of drones, like of bigger drones, and that is also where actually we need to focus on our industries already working in big way with DRDO as well as independently. And the final one is bio-inspired drones. In this area also we have some initiatives taken, and with academia as well as with industry. If we see the market of drones for the warfare technology front, right now, if you see the market is around $24 billion. It will expand 55 by 2030. So we cannot ignore this market. We cannot ignore this area. Keeping this in mind, we have also taken some initiatives from the DRDO front or from the TVL side also, as we were given the Charter of Duty. Next. I will take a couple of case studies which we post-COVID, which we were given to us, like to work on, and it was this case study was monitored from the top level, from the government side as well as from the DRDO side also. Here, actually, to align with the topic, how to enable Indian industry actually, as long as parallelly, when we are working on the different products. Next. This was one of the UL PGM actually, UAV launch precision guided missile. Two versions we were told to realize within a few months. It was a challenge actually. This is the 5th generation missile, and we have developed in these 3 types of warheads. PF, PCB, and then MTMR warhead. All 3 type of warheads, actually they are uniform warheads, and if you see the middle portion, like the colored one, this is developed by DRDO, by TVRL, and rest 2 are from DRDL and RCI lab. So collaboratively we have developed this missile just in 17 months. And just in 19 months, we could do the user trials and deliver to the users. There are 2 concepts, actually 2 missiles are there. The first one, if you see, it will be like the drone will carry the missile, it will go down till the target, till the launch point, and release the missile towards the target. Yet the precision of this missile is 10 centimeter, and this is the proprietary missile. Another one is the V1 version, we call it, this is a gravity drop missile, wherein all it will be again guided within 400 meter area. Any static or dynamic target can be attempted very efficiently. The weight of this missile is 5 kg and 8 kg only. These are the unique missiles of DRDO, which we have realized just in 17 months. and done user trials, around 14 user trials with users. Now 270 missiles are delivered to Indian Army within 19 months. Next. This is one of the video which I would like to play for you, like drone based armament missile. This somewhere in Andhra we have done this trial. It is on the concept of BrahMos. It will be dropped and after that missile will be fired. Before that it will be locked on the target. The missile weight is 8 kg only. It is having two-way telemetry. The user want that the telemetry should be till touchdown. They would like to see it, like as it happens around across all other weapons around the world. So we have given two-way telemetry till touchdown. User can see that what is the collateral damage it has done. So that was the target. It has hit pinpoint at the center within 10 centimeter accuracy. Yeah, this is another version. Next. The version 1 of the missile where it doesn't have the propulsion, but it is being guided after it attains some velocity around 100 meter per second. It will steer towards the target, even the target is static or dynamic. It will be from almost 1.5 kilometer altitude. It is brought down. This is very useful weapon for Navy. We are in touch with Navy. Actually, they want it in the numbers. These both missiles were given us as a pilot project to realize it as soon as possible. This has come out during COVID period actually. The complete design. After that, we have proven the missile with users post COVID, and now the order has been placed and we have delivered to RT. There are two big players actually. What we have done, we have involved our DCPP partners from the day actually we were into the design. With that, the teams got actually trained well for missile integration, testing, and then after that for trials. So now independently they are producing the missiles, and we are not there in like interfering their business. Next. Another version of this missile actually, that is the version 3 for longer range. The previous one was for 10 kilometer range and another one was for 2 kilometer height. This was for longer range, more than 50 kilometer range they want. So this is primarily actually we have target 3 warheads in this, PF, PCB and anti-armor warhead. This is anti-bunker warhead actually we have planned within. Here 2 DCPP we have already for UAV with us. They have realized the drones right now. Next. And for missiles, 2 DCPP, other 2 DCPP are with us. They have realized 4 missiles and we have realized 3 missiles within 20 months. So the same pilot program we have continued for this bigger missile also. This missile is having a lot of demand because it is having 3 warheads, 3 types of warheads. Tandem warhead, then bunker buster, and another one is PF warhead. Beyond that, we were given asymmetric warfare applications activities also to TBR. We have developed so many different types of drones for various applications for land or high altitude, and different types of munitions also, dumb munitions also, which will be carried by these drones and drop it at particular location. And for that, we have identified our partner also, production partner also, who they are producing number of drones for India as well as for outside country also. Next. And as I said, we are given the charter of these drones. We are working in the area of kamikaze drones also. The first one we have done with Tata actually, that we have proven successfully, and the order has been placed by Army. Tata is independently, we have given them the warhead fusing system, and rest of the integration system to the Tata, and we have done trial with the users, and now they are producing this the first version of it. Another two are Swift K and SLM UAV. These are the system are being worked by our sisters laboratory AD. We are providing them two type of different warheads. The industry is there with us from the day one, and they are approaching the users to produce this immediately. So this is what, as I mentioned in the previous cases, we are continuing the same thing. Beyond that, actually, we have delivered actually BVD, this one blast device, wherein all across the border, if you see, there are dummy canals actually, the big dummy canals. To remove those obstacles, we use these BVDs. Two versions of this we have proven, and then after that immediately we have given to the industry. We have proven it. They have produced, and those lots are also cleared and given to the Armenian army. So this is with the industry. Next. These are the multi-mode hand grenades, two types of grenades actually, offensive and defensive. Both grenades are in production right now. Both we have delivered to the Indian Army, and right now to industry, they are producing 5 lakhs and 10 lakhs these grenades, and they have lot of export orders also for these grenades. The liability of this grenade is more than 95%. Next. So that's all from my side, sir. There are many things actually I cover it from my side.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Manjeet. That was, I think it was a good idea to call you in the end because those videos were stunning. Actually, it was very good. So one thing about DRDO is this: whatever you may do, it will not be enough. That's number one. Second is, if today we are talking about 26,000 crores in exports, it was only because of the initiatives taken by DRDO a few years earlier. You know, you can export only what you own. You can't go and sell my house. You can sell only your house. So, if you want to go and sell something outside this country, the country needs to own it. And that ownership comes only by technology. And DRDO has proved it time and again that DRDO developed technologies have seen the war zones today on both fronts. And some of these were on the Twitter also, you must have seen. And today we are very proud to say that whether it was Armenia, which is now looking at any number of systems that have gone, all of them are DRDO developed. If you look at some of the technologies that have gone into the Middle East is something that I would not like to talk about because that has happened on a very different scale and very high-end technologies which have even been critical that they will use over there. So I have a number of questions. I'm not going to ask any of them. I'll just leave the questions as a thought. One is the army has made a statement that come 2025 they are not going to import any ammunition from anywhere. This is a statement from the MGS himself, and therefore I want to believe that all this has happened because of the excellent work that you've been doing in all these years. But what I'm surprised many times is the involvement of private industry in the whole process. Today we have seen that Adanis have established a huge line of small arms ammunition, and they've gone into, they are acquiring the PLR, they've gone into, and there are about 4 or 5 players like Naibe in Pune. He's doing the 15552. Now he's tied up with Sig Sauer. He's doing, I think he wants to do some parts of the Sig Sauer 716. Then we've got about 4 or 5 players who want to do the 15552 today, the private guys. And I just checked out a business plan and it says, you need an investment of at least 170 crores just for the machinery which has to come. And all this machinery is coming from Germany. And the waiting period for getting that machinery is more than 2 years. So can you believe it? This is where we stand. I mean, you have the technology, you have the capability, but then you don't have the machines to make it. And therefore, there's a lot that is yet to happen over there. One more very interesting thing that's happening across the world is stocking of ammunition. Do you know that the entire Middle East is just buying and stocking ammunition? There was at one point in time Saudi Arabia had booked the entire Eastern Europe ammunition companies for the next about 5-6 years by placing the orders in full, and they are stocking. Indonesia is stocking ammunition, and there are many such countries which are stocking ammunition. That causes a concern as to where the world is going, and therefore we need to be self-reliant in this particular thing. So I'm very happy to announce that Bharat Forge is landing a contract of 6,000 crores for the howitzers. And if somebody were to ask them where you get the technology, they'd probably say that they got it from DRDO. I think that is something that has happened so very well. And you know, this howitzers are going to be split between Bharat Forge and Tata's or L&T. Tata 60-40 on a 60-40 basis. Both of them are DCPP partners. There was one point in time when the Indian artillery was saying, you know, we don't have guns. And a point in time has come today when they are saying, I think we've got adequate capability to have whatever we want to have today. And not only that, our guns are also are firing in foreign skies and foreign lands. So that's a very great thing that is happening on that side. You talked about the warheads of strategic material. I'm so happy. And in fact, Dr. Talawar also talked about the critical materials which are required for ammunition, and they've set up the capability for that. But ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, today India is importing 30,000 crores worth of strategic materials every year. 30,000 crores. And I'm again, in the same breath, I'm happy to announce that I'm working with the government as part of the EY team. We are working with the government to come out with a PLI scheme for strategic materials, and we're going to see, and we have a funny feeling that we're going to see the light of the day by about March 25 or something like that. You talked about the aircraft development bombs. I think that was fantastic, and we're talking. I always had this question when you were talking about it. I thought about the B-52 bomber, and US is already moving some of these bombers into Europe. I don't know for what reason, but then yeah, they're moving it there. And these are all stances that a nation or a group of nations take to sort of show capability. And you talked about the CSS. I'm sure it will be a very great thing for exports. And you talked about exports, and I think exports are happening only for one reason, that is we are owning the technology. So you talked about the GoCo model. That was something that I was not aware of. I think that's fantastic. We were talking about that, and it's happening. It's excellent. And the TBRL, I think I should tell you, Dr. Manjeet, that my interaction with the industry, it has been 100% feedback that I get from you. Also, we are working with TBRL. We are very confident. It feels nice to hear the statement from and as a very fiercely independent, neutral person. I mean, I really don't. I don't take sides. I'm not the DRDO. I don't take sides. But when you hear that, you feel very happy and proud. Well, I mean, people can criticize DRDO. People can criticize DDP. The DPSUs. But then they've built up an ecosystem today, which the private industry is trying to capitalize on that and moving forward. You're doing 2,000 trials. That is amazing. Just imagine that. 2,000 trials, untiringly doing and supporting the industry. Isn't that so? On that encouraging note, let me open up this session to the audience. And do I want to begin with the NCC cadets? Any one of you want to ask any question? I'll tell you a question which you should ask. Should I tell you? You should say that when yeah, please, go ahead.
R&D took a lot of time and effort over but as in a single country like feel that they are going to be like the identity. So due to which in sustaining long wars, we should also protect our technology. Like if we are going to divert our research work to private players also. So we should also ensure that these are our technologies are safe and that don't go into the hand of enemies. So what are the steps we are taking to ensure that how our technologies are being safe and not going in the hands of enemies?
Do you want to believe that our private players are less patriotic than the public? Are you wanting to suggest that?
No, sir, but
No. There are a number of things which are there. So number of steps that DRDO takes to protect technologies. So there's, I mean, it's not that they just on a whim and a fancy and on a dance and a song, you don't pick up an industry and say I want to partner. It doesn't happen like that. There is a process, and it goes through a multiple layers of scrutiny, and they actually go and physically inspect them. They check their IPs, they check their capabilities, they check their investment, they scrutinize the people who are going to work in that. Then those guys go into these labs, including some of the labs like RCI, TBR, and anybody who enters, they're all scrutinized, and yeah. But tell me, how many of you want to join DRDO when you grow up and become scientists? Only one. Oh wow! The lecturer is holding me up. That's great. Excellent. Okay. And how many of you are going to be in the armed forces to use the DRDO technologies? Oh, great. There are more users than scientists. So scientists are in scarcity. Okay, that's good. Hey, any questions from the informed audience?
Sir,
Yeah, please. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. So I would like to ask what opportunities DRDO or parts of DRDO have for the engineering students which are enthusiastic about technology developing in India, who want to learn, understand, and become a part of it, and get mentored by senior scientists like you.
Who would like to answer this? Yeah.
Like you, he has given in his presentation that we already have the JRF and SRF, the senior research fellows and the junior research fellows and the project associates. Through that, you can come to DRDO, work with the technology and the senior scientists, and earn your degree, maybe the MTech, PhD, and then go back to the society or the research field and develop the systems. It is possible.
Sir,
Go ahead.
sir, actually, sir, I'm pursuing BTech, and if I want, sir, actually, sir, I'm pursuing BTech, and if in my third year, and if I want to be a part of and get an opportunity to learn from you during my graduation, so sir, is there any opportunity for me?
Internship.
Yeah, we have internship programs in our labs, but that we don't encourage the short internship. Generally, the 6 months and beyond internships are encouraged. So you do some useful work for yourself as well as for DRDO.
But I think I want to carry a suggestion to DRDO at this point in time. I think we should encourage short internships. I will take this point up. I will try to push it at the levels that we can. And we should encourage young students. Anybody who says I want to do, I think it should be an open.
I would like to make a value addition furthermore what Hada Sir has said. We have something called apprenticeship program where we take students after BTech for 1 year, we allow them to work on various technologies. And also if you are a final year BTech student, then for your last year or wherever last semester, in case if you would like to do your project work with us, we assign one of the senior scientists along with you and we give a topic and you will work on that and you submit your report to your institute and where DRDO scientists will assess your last year performance with respect to your performance of work. Your professor will be given or your head of the department will be given a feedback from DRDO. And then in case if you would like to join as a scientist directly, then you need to pass a GATE exam. And also you, in case if you are a BTech in or BE, then you need to have a GATE this thing. And you keep a watch on Recruitment and Assessment Center. There is a website on the DRDO where from time to time there are advertisements. And there are, based on your GATE score, you will be called for interview at RAC Timarpur and the core team of experts, they will assess you and they will take you. This is what.
He's asking a very simple question, sir.
Yeah.
And I think I want to go there. He says, I'm a third year student. Somebody will say, I'm a second year student. I want to work for 1 month, 15 days, 20 days. So that's all the vacation I have. I don't want to play cricket and gully danda. I want to come into a DRDO lab, interact with some intellectual people, and get motivated. Not to do any project work, just get motivated and go back. That I want to become a scientist and do. Is that your question?
Yes, sir.
Good.
We have been motivating and promoting even 6 weeks programs also in HEMR Pune. From various engineering college students, even they work for 6 weeks also. We promote.
I can tell you one thing. You're a little late in asking this question. Had you asked this question to Dr. Abdul Kalam, you would have implemented it long back. Okay. So, okay. Any other questions? Yeah, please.
If you can elaborate Dare to Dream contest, what is it about and who all are eligible to participate?
You know, it is completely out of box thinking. For example, I can give you one example. There is atmospheric air. In the air contains nitrogen, oxygen, and other things. 71% of nitrogen is there. How you can use this nitrogen? How you can suck the nitrogen from the atmosphere? How you can purify it? And how you can make 100% pure nitrogen? How you can use this pure nitrogen for propulsion? How our missiles can propel using this kind of atmospherically generated nitrogen? So it is not a very conventional technology. It is out of box thinking. Idea basically, if you come up with a idea which is innovative in nature and which is not completely known anywhere in the world, so that we promote such ideas for industry as well as for institute as well as for individuals.
So what is your age?
Startup.
What's your age? Age? Umar kitna hai? 20. Do you have a younger sibling at home? Younger brother, sister? Huh?
Yes, sir.
What is their age?
21.
So even if it is a 12-year-old boy or girl or 10-year-old comes with a fantastic idea, I'm telling you, that is dare to dream. First dare, and then dream. They will help you. Isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, he said yes. Okay. Oh God, too many questions. I'll have to throw a mic over there. Should I? Will you catch it? Okay. Yeah.
So I wanted to ask about the stealth technology. Means the HAL advanced medium aircraft.
क्या बात है? AMCA.
Is a
Good.
aircraft.
Any other questions? Yeah.
Sir, I want to ask about drone warfare as the drone technology is increasing. Like it is earlier used as a surveillance type of system, but not used as ammunitions and also destroying enemies. So how it we can safeguard us? Like it is also used against us by the terrorists and the other people. And also I want to add one question that like related to the laser beam technology of Israel. Like how we can send our drones to that area where such technology lies. Is there any technology which through which we can hide that drone or?
Any other questions? Quickly. Yeah. We want to finish the question because she's having a hammer in her hand. She's going to hit my head if I don't conclude the session now. Yeah, quickly.
Everyone, I'm Dr. Sergeant Major Rajat. First of all, I would like to answer about the there are many friendship programs.
If you have a question, please don't answer this question. That you do at home. Yeah. I like that you are a CSM. That's good. Yeah.
Sir, like, is it safe to take private industries into the defense sector production?
I don't want to answer that question. No, it's very safe. They are as patriotic as anybody else. Don't worry. Yeah. I mean, this is a question, the government will be very happy to take such a question. And then you'll be left with only the public sector. No, we need to have a holistic application of the whole thing, whole of nation approach. Private sector has to come. You see the US, you see Germany, you see France, you see Israel, you see anywhere. Private sector has to be a part of the nation's development. So let's not even go there. So ladies and gentlemen, I think you've been an excellent audience. It's been a fantastic session. I really love the enthusiasm from the youngsters, from Navy, from the NCC. I'm recalling my days of 1972 or 73 when I was an NCC cadet. and then my days in the National Defense Academy, and yeah, it's fantastic seeing all of you. Thank you very much, and thanks to the panelists for bringing out such a fantastic thing. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, Atmanirbharta will come only when you own technologies. Atmanirbharta will come only when you know the why of it. Atmanirbharta will not come through a transfer of technology. Atmanirbharta will not come when you buy something from outside. Atmanirbharta will come only when you can do it yourself at home. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you so much, sir. So, Mrs. Wanda, open comment.
फ्रेम में नहीं आ पाते सर करने ग्रुप पिक्चर थैंक यू सर